Let's talk about things we don't love. Sunday Scaries. We talked about Ezekiel Elliott, his big game. Not so good for Dak Prescott in his first game back, or Michael Gallup.
Yeah, I mean, again, they didn't need to go crazy pass heavy in this one because they dominated the game. Ultimately, 24-6 is the win here. Dalton Schultz, they threw into Dalton Schultz, pass interference call, get down, to now ball on the 1 yard line. Zeke punches that in as well. I mentioned in the last segment, Noah Brown fumbles at the 5 yard line. So I think this game easily could have been better. Dak Prescott threw 25 times, which you're hoping for a bigger volume there, but I don't know. I'd actually be buying low. He was 19 of 25 on for 207 yards for his first game back. I thought he looked fine. Gallup is a little bit of a concern here. The fact that Noah Brown got 7 targets, 5 for 50 for him. Nice to see Dalton Schultz back again, 549 on 5 targets. Ultimately, as I said, should have had a touchdown there. Yep. And CeeDee Lamb was CeeDee Lamb. Gallup, I think, is a little more of a wait and see. I mean, he ran the third most routes of the Cowboys wide receivers. He played under 70% of the offensive snaps. Those two things are a little concerning to me. So maybe a more of a wait-and-see approach with Gallup. But Dak Prescott should be fine, especially at home against the Bears next week.
Yep. Let's see what Gallup does in a game where Dak Prescott throws it more than 25 times before we get too nervous. Right. All right, let's move on to Derek Carr, who also didn't do much. At the same time, he still had 240 yards, 241 yards, and a touchdown. So not the worst game, no picks, but it just hasn't been the explosive passing game that people would have thought. It's been the Josh Jacobs show.
Yeah, he's had only one game with over 300 passing yards this entire year. He's been under 260 yards in 4 out of 6 games. It has been all Josh Jacobs on the road at New Orleans next week. He's going to be a mid to high tier QB2. I mean, on the season, he's the 15th best quarterback on a points per game basis, which is about where he was drafted. I think I had him at QB 14 in the preseason. So it's kind of what we expected here. Again, there's no rushing volume with Derek Carr the way there is with the Josh Allens, Lamar Jacksons, Kyler Murrays, Daniel Joneses of the world, Jay Croucher. So, you really need that volume there. And because their run game is playing so well and just Jacobs is getting this massive volume, it's hurting Derek Carr and to a lesser extent Devontae Adams, although he'll be fine. Worth noting in this game, again, Darren Waller was out.
Yep.
Darren Waller was out and I feel like there was somebody else that was banged up. Renfrow was there, but he wasn't 100%. Matt Collins caught the touchdown pass. I like Matt Collins.
Yeah, I like Matt Collins too. I think the Raiders are going to go on a little run. Their schedule the rest of the way is fairly easy. There's a good chance they won't be more than a field goal underdog in any game the rest of the way.
At Saints, at Jags, home to the Colts, at Denver are the next 4.
Good little stretch.
Vegas.
Okay. Now, let's talk about my Swaguars, who are now officially only your Swaguars because I'm completely off them.
Right.
And James Robinson.
Are you on the Jets now, or are you getting off the Jets back to the Brees Hall?
I got a new team.
Oh, boy.
Seattle Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
I'm a Seahawks man. Yeah, I'm the 12th man.
You're the 12th man.
My 12th team.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but James Robinson, complete disaster.
Commanders have won 2 in a row, by the way. Just saying.
No, I can't
just for what it's worth, I'm just saying we won 2 in a row.
Talk to me at 7 and 5.
All right, that's fine. We got the Colts this week.
Yeah.
We beat the Colts.
The Jags are now 2 and 5,
yes, sir.
And James Robinson saw basically no action. It seemed like he was a little bit banged up. We don't really know what's going on there, but it was the Travis Etienne show. And is James Robinson now just Dontrell Hilliard? You're just waiting for an injury?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you're not dropping him as well, but he played just 11 total snaps. Doug Peterson after the game saying about James Robinson, quote, something we have to evaluate him and see where he is at physically, health-wise, and all of that, which sort of hints at the fact that maybe he was just a little bit nicked up. The fact is that James Robinson he's a thumper, right? I mean, that's what you need him for. He's always been more of a volume play, but with under 55 total yards in 4 straight games, and to the eye test, Travis Etienne is just so explosive.
Yes.
Like, that all is legit. Etienne as well. I think for Robinson, I'm not dropping him, but I'm also not playing him next week against Denver. That is the London game.
Yep. I think Travis Etienne cost himself another touchdown with the fumble in the red zone. So I think that Etienne has a good chance to be a top 10 running back going forward. I don't think Cortland Sutton's going to be a top 10 wide receiver going forward, which was perhaps an upside case for him in the preseason if everything broke right.
Yeah.
But he had Brett Rippon as his quarterback, and he tried to take him on, tried to take on Sauce Gardner at the death, but as Omar Little on The Wire said, if you come at the source, you best not miss. And Brett Rippon, he missed. And Cortland Sutton, who now was thought to have a real big quarterback upgrade in the offseason, now kind of longs for Teddy Bridgewater.
Omar, one of the top 10 characters in TV history.
I go top 5. I
Really?
go top 5, yeah.
Top
why
5.
Not?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting debate. Anyway, we all love Omar. I'm surprised you haven't spoiled Omar's.
Let's move on quickly.
Let's move on quickly. And I'll just say that we're running behind on time. Jerry Jeudy had a nice game in this one as well. I don't think there's much you can take away with it. Again, as you mentioned, Brett Rippon got the start here. They play the Swag Wars, my Swag Wars next year. Like, again, he got the same number of targets as Greg Dulcich. Again, when Russell Wilson's back under center, and the expectation is that Wilson will start for the Broncos next week against Jacksonville. I'm chalking it up to just tough matchup with the Jets and Sauce Gardner, and weird game environment as well. I'm still not trusting Jerry Jeudy.
No.
By the way, after this game.
No. Is there any Bronco that you're starting outside of Cortland Sutton in London?
No, and certainly. I guess if you're tight end desperate, because next week it will be Gerald Everett and Travis Kelce on a bye, and we'll see about Njoku and his health. So you might need a tight end, but so I think he's interesting. But it just all feels bleh. The Jags have a good defense. The Jags do have a solid defense here. London games are always weird. And it's a three-headed committee at running back. Like, Latavius Murray bailed you out with a touchdown, but, Melvin Gordon played more snaps, got more work, and then, Mike Boone was in the mix as well. So it's just all like that.
Yeah.
Like Denver, you're just...
It's a big mess.
You're not excited about any of them. Sutton,
No.
You downgrade Sutton to, wide receiver 2-3, sort of on that cusp, and Dulcich is a, touchdown-dependent mid-tier tight end, too.
Yep. Bleak times in Denver, but Sauce Gardner's going to make a lot of people look bad.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.